Hey guys, welcome to episode number 1. In today's episode, we are going to discuss the basic principle of controlling your stomach and your pelvic position in order to be more effective and deliberate on your feet, particularly with your training and your running. This exercise will first take place on the floor, and the purpose of this exercise is going to be to teach you how to create a stable midsection from which you can then run and have a bit more longevity with your running. So for this you'll need a floor space at home. We have a mat here, but that's totally to your preference. You're going to start yourself off and you're going to lay on the floor at home, and you're going to get yourself lying down nice and flat with your arms by your side. Now, one of the corrections that we are going to be focusing on during this exercise is altering the position of your rib cage and engaging the tummy muscles at the same time. This process is very difficult for many of our athletes, and this drill is quite simple to help you understand that position better. What we see a lot is people start in this position with their ribs pushed up towards the sky in this elevated position, and this creates this big huge gap underneath my back. For the purpose of the exercise, we are going to try and eliminate this gap under your back so that we can train the tummy muscles to work better and get a little bit of understanding. The first correction I want you to focus on is as follows. You're going to deliberately try, using the muscles only in your stomach and your trunk, to bring your rib cage downwards and forwards towards the floor. As this happens, you're going to feel the need to squeeze your tummy tight to pull that rib cage in position. As you do this, the gap under your back will reduce and the potential for it to be eliminated completely. Step 1 is bringing the rib cage down towards the floor. Step 2 for this exercise is pulling the belly button in as well, which feels like you're trying to get into a pair of trousers too small for you. You're sucking your belly right in. In this position, your rib cage should be down and forward, and your belly should be tight throughout. I'm going to hold this position. I'm then going to try and squeeze my bottom as well a little bit. That's quite tricky, but you're going to try to send that message. And you're going to hold them all together, and then you're going to relax off. You're going to repeat this task each time, holding for around about 10 seconds, so that you get a chance to work on this position, and you're going to try to eliminate that lumbar curve, the gap between the bottom of your back. You'll start off in this position. As you feel like you're starting to understand this position better, you're going to challenge yourself by taking your feet further away from your bottom. So we'll take our feet further out, maybe 6 or 7 inches. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring our rib cage down first, into the floor, tummy nice and tight, bum nice and tight. And I'm going to hold. I'm squeezing as hard as possible to eliminate the gap under my back. And I relax out. And you're going to repeat again. As you get better, you're going to take your feet further away, and you're going to continue taking your feet further away until your legs are straight and you're doing the same exercise. Once you're able to do this, you're going to start to understand how to control this bit. At first, it's very normal for you to feel like your shoulders want to come up and for you to want to almost feel like you're going to do a sit-up. But you're going to prevent those things from happening because we want the shoulders to stay relaxed. And that's quite tricky at first. You'll also find that you'll be holding your breath at first. And that's okay to begin with, but then we want you to try and relax your breathing also. Over the course of the next few weeks, you're going to practice this position and you're going to gain some competency in executing this. If you successfully do that, we're going to make this more difficult for you by bringing in more movement whilst you're controlling this position. In order to do this next stage, you're going to start off in the same position as you were. You've already practiced this many times. Your rib cage would come down and you'd engage that position here. You'd then lift one leg off the ground and the other leg would then join it. I'm maintaining this activation in my tummy and the back is staying flat. From here, this quite simply, you're going to try and touch the floor with one foot and bring it back, then with the other foot and bring it back, and you're going to repeat this movement. And as you feel like you're getting better at this, you're going to start touching the floor further away from you and further away. Of course, the further away your leg goes, the more demand there is on your midsection to work harder to keep your back flat, which is the whole purpose of this drill. We find that with these exercises, A lot of our athletes fail to have this position and fail to be able to organize this position. These simple drills will help you in order to be able to feel what it's like to be able to keep your tummy with some tightness and some activity in, even when you're running. And you can even practice squeezing those same areas when you're doing some household chores. Video number 1, have a go at this. It can be a little tricky at first, but with practice, it gets much easier.